Alrighty, y'all. Out here getting our walk done. It's starting to get kind of windy. There's supposed to be a storm blowing in way later tonight, and rain all day tomorrow and tomorrow night. So it's forecasted. We'll see if we actually get that or not. But anyways, out here, getting the walk done, and having a Red Bull this morning. Kind of sounded good while I was out on my walk. I normally go and get a lottery ticket every day, and this morning it just sounded like a nice idea to have a Red Bull. So, having that, and today is arm day, deloaded arm day. So, and tomorrow will be deload legs, and then we'll be back to doing our full weight routine or block, whatever you would like to call it. I haven't got structured out for the moment, and we'll reassess this week on what weights need to go up, if any need to go down, and how the body's feeling under the load again. So, but we just out here getting it done. Freaking the spider bites on the legs from yesterday, man, those things hurt. One of them got like I was saying, they were both pretty like crazy swollen. One of them swelled up enough to where it kind of like ruptured in a way, more or less, and then was leaking some fluid out of it. I'm assuming whatever the body's trying to fight off, it wants to push all that shit out of your body as fast as it can, so that was the way it was going. But so that's all kind of sore, tender, but it is what it is. We'll work through it. No big deal. We have a company coming out now on Friday to come spray for mosquitoes and ticks and all that pesky summertime nonsense that you get here in these humid climates. So we'll have that be a whole lot better. And then let's see what else we got going on today. I don't think much of anything. Waiting to see if they post my test results from the blood work yesterday, while we wait to go to our physical next week on Tuesday. But freaking blood work is a good thing, like I was saying yesterday. Lets you know where your body's sitting at. If you're ever having anything go on, you can catch it early. But man, lawn is looking good. Sprinklers are going. A little windy, so taking a little bit of a shower while I walk past these things. But other than that, we're getting it done today. Cheated on the diet a little bit yesterday. We had pizza for dinner. But today, we're on it already. We're up at, with this, like 440 calories, but I'm at 26 grams of protein already today, so that's not terrible. But, yeah, I will catch you all later in the gym for arm day. Alright, y'all. So, it's arm day, one of the best days. Who doesn't like a nice arm pump? So we're going to go ahead and start out with tricep press downs, extensions, whatever you prefer to call them. Basically the same movement, but we've been doing these at 50 pounds. This week we're going to do them at 40 for that reduction in deload. Already went ahead and warmed up at 20, 30, and a set of 40. So we're just going to go ahead and knock out 5 more sets at 40 pounds for 10 to 15 reps here. So since we are in a deload, we want to take these nice and smooth, slow. Feel that muscle working. And really focus on contracting and working the muscle and not just moving weight around. So that little mind to muscle connection that you can focus on under a deload, to me, super beneficial because you can keep thinking about that cue over and over, and it translates back into when you start moving the weights back up, like, hey, this isn't the feeling I should be having, like I know how this should feel, so then you know if you're working too heavy or not. But let me go ahead and finish these up, and then we'll be back. So, finished up tricep press downs. We've been warming up on short bar curls on the cable. We went 20 pounds, 30 pounds. We're about to do 40 pounds for our working sets. I made a note that we're supposed to be moving up to 50 on the next arm day for these and not staying at 40, so I'm just going to do the same thing. 50 pounds is going to be set to 40 for the deload. So man, biceps have to work so much harder than triceps do to move the same amount of weight. Yeah, I guess that's the big difference of, 2/3 of your arm versus 1/3 of your arm, or however you want to really break that down. I think it's like 60-40 really, even though, it's 3 tricep heads and 2 bicep heads, so hence try and bi. But yeah, freaking those things feel pretty good at 40 pounds. For a deload, I'm not struggling too hard. So they're right in the peak where I think they need to be. So I'm gonna keep them at that. I'm gonna do 4 more sets of those and we'll be back again. Like, I really don't know how to transition these segments and stuff. Like, I'm just a one-man band. So I don't have someone to like film a bunch of footage and B-roll and kind of swap it back and forth, and nor do I know how to edit that much information. So unfortunately for now, these are going to be like just clips that are just strung back together. But if you guys have a recommendation on how to like move from clip to clip, I would love that. If you guys could drop that down in the comments, so it's a little more seamless and not so much I'll be back and here I am doing this again. So that way it moves a little better. But yeah, freaking, we're gonna get moving on here, and I'm gonna stop fucking gabbing. So we've been doing these at 60 pounds for overhead tricep extensions with the rope. So we're gonna bump them down to 50 today, and shoot for that 5 to 15 still, just like normal, just at that decreased weight. And again, we're looking for that full range of movement. That nice big stretch. Oh, those feel good, and I do enjoy a deload period though. Even though the weight's lighter and everything, just the slowing down and thinking about the contraction and the slightly different feeling you get in the pump, it does feel good. So you get a lot of blood in there real fast when you slow these reps down under a slightly lighter weight. So, what What type of training do you guys like most? You like a real little amount of reps but insanely heavy? Or do you like the moderate weight and the moderate rep ranges? Or do you like to go moderately into the weight still, but in a way higher rep range? So I kind of like the moderate weights in the moderate rep range, and I also really enjoy like the compound lifts though. I enjoy lifting more like a power lifter, like 3 to 5 reps at that freaking like 95% of your max. Even though you're not going to get a massive pump from it, but man, oh man, it is fatiguing and you just feel like a monster when you just move heavy weight all the time. So, but that ain't today. Today, it's all about the pump and just letting everything kind of recoup and recover, wind back down, just to ramp it back up next here in 2 days again. So, I'm going to move on with these. And then we'll move on to the next exercise here. We're going to go ahead and move on to hammer curls. We've been doing these at 60 pounds, so we're just going to leave it at 50. And get these things knocked out. Get another 5 sets for 10 to 15 or so. So when I'm doing these, I like to try to get my elbows kind of like pulled back behind me some, almost like I'm doing a incline dumbbell curl. Since it's the rope, it follows my chest, and I can mimic that pattern and get that real stretched bicep. Ugh, because the arm is pulled back. Ugh. It's almost the same concept as so the incline bench curl, because your arm's going to end up back here, but also say if you're doing a drag curl with an easy curl bar where you're coming up like this, when you're doing your curls, it pushes that elbow back. Because of that, it's lengthening the bicep because it comes across the shoulder. And the amount of extra stimulus and growth you can get in your biceps from just having that elbow pulled back when you curl is tremendous. So if you're not doing some sort of variation of a curl where you're getting that elbow pulled back behind you, you're definitely missing out for sure. It doesn't really matter what variation you want to do, whatever feels comfortable, but you will notice that 1, it's extremely hard, and 2, the pump you get from them is like skin bursting. So it is an awesome technique to put into your arsenal if you're trying to get big. So that is the probably number 1 bicep movement to me, is anything that you can get that elbow back there for building just overall size in the bicep. Now, other than that, I'd say it's like pronated easy curls. So because you can get a big load on them, you get to work the brachialis, and your arms just look real meaty when you get to see them from the front like that. So those are the 2 movements I think are the most beneficial for biceps. If you just chose 2 bicep movements, it'd be those for me. But I'm gonna get those going, and then we'll be back for the next thing. Next is single arm tricep extensions. You guys have seen many times so far. I like to bring these across my body. Today we're gonna switch it up on the deload week, and we're gonna do these more as a kickback. So I can also throw that elbow way back there and get the biggest contraction possible. Instead of my elbows being up here, you just get a much bigger, tighter contraction in the tricep the further you get that elbow back. So there's weird little tricks and tips to like frickin' everything you do and how you can manipulate a muscle. So these are still at 20 pounds, even though we're supposed to be doing a like deficit. But since these are normally 20 pounds, it'd only be 2 pounds, 3 pounds coming off. So it doesn't really make sense to drop these any lower, especially when this weight, without all the other fatigue being added onto it before we got to this point. These actually feel pretty easy currently. Ugh. 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 So, I'm going to go ahead and get these things finished, and we'll be back for preacher curls right after this. So, those kickbacks kicked my butt, man. Dang out. Alright. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to dumbbell preacher curls. We normally do these at 25. We're going to go ahead and leave them at 25. Because again, at this point in time, normally we're much more fatigued and tired. So the biceps today are going to have a whole lot more in them at this point, just like the triceps just did, than normal. Oh yeah, those feel good. All right. Oh yeah. Those have crazy pump going on. So, we get these finished up, and then we'll move on to our last exercise, which I believe is dips and easy curls. Preacher curl. Yep. Dips and easy curls. So that nice brutal superset to finish everything off, and I'll be back when we're at that point. We got easy curls set up, 75 pounds this week. We did 95 pounds last time, and so that'll be the reduction there. Dips, there's no reduction to have. I'm still sitting at like 209.8-ish pounds, so that is just going to be what it is, you know. Can't really reduce weight if all you can do is take it off your own body like that. So otherwise everyone would be their body weight they want to be, right? But so until we get into doing weighted dips, the deload doesn't really exist for dips because I don't have an assisted dip machine. But let's go ahead and get these things going, get them knocked out, so we could just move on. Whew. But we'll do 10 instead of 15, so it kind of reduces the overall load, I guess is what that would be. Man, that is such a nasty superset. That puts the pump into all of the arm. But I'm gonna get 4 more of these done, and then we'll go ahead and move on to cable crunches, and we'll be out of here for the day. We're on to cable crunches now. We'll get these things knocked out. We'll be done for the day. So these are just 70 pounds like normal. These aren't too hard really at this weight. Just when towards those last sets, definitely builds up. So I am going to have to start working on increasing the weight of these. So I'll go ahead and get those things finished up and be able to get on out of here. Man, lost my train of thought there. Freaking fatigue. It's building up. It's catching up. It's time to eat. But so making sure you guys are getting out there, you're getting stuff done, and don't be a lazy fuck.